Don't go thinking that wild animals only live in the wild. Sometimes they're just as at home in the concrete jungle of a modern metropolis. We're counting down the top 10 most extreme city slickers in the animal kingdom to find the country bumpkin that has the most tricks to survive on the mean streets. Discover that hicks from the sticks can learn fast when city slickers are taken to the most extreme.
Earth is a planet of extremes. Extreme places. And extreme animals. But some animals are more extreme than others. Join us as we count down to find the most unusual and the most extraordinary on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme. Number 10.
One of the most famous fables attributed to the Greek writer Aesop is the town mouse and the country mouse. It's the story of what happened when a yokel went to visit a city slicker. Just like the country mouse, most wild animals find life in the fast lane almost impossible. There are domesticated animals or pets that are perfectly happy living with humans. But we're only counting down the wild animals you'd never expect to find in the big city.
Well, said the city mouse, what do you think of the city? The food is good, but the dangers are terrible.
And nowhere is the danger more terrible than in the city of Darwin on the northern coast of Australia. Here, 100,000 people are under threat because our first contender has the city under siege. The coastal floodplains that extend for hundreds of miles on either side of Darwin are a playground for people who want to beat the summer heat. They're also home to the largest reptile on Earth. Swimming in to number 10 in the countdown is the saltwater crocodile. It's the most aggressive and dangerous of all crocodiles. And unfortunately for the citizens of Darwin, it makes no distinction between floodplain in and outside the city limits. Crocodiles looking for new territories move into the city, lured by the smell of tasty treats like this colony of fruit bats at the water's edge. Unfortunately, crocs also dine on unwary residents and their pets. Darwin Harbor covers more than 170 square miles, nearly 9 times the area of Manhattan. So it's easy for these unlikely city slickers to establish a territory unnoticed by the people around them. Of course, Darwin isn't the only city that has problems with giant reptiles.
It lives beneath the streets. It's killed 5 people already. And it's about to break out. Alligator.
According to urban legend, unwanted pet gators were flushed down the toilets of New York and survived to grow into monsters. In reality, reality, the sewers are too polluted, too cold, and there is not enough sunlight for any alligator to survive for long. However, there are still alligators living in the Big Apple, not in sewers, but in apartments. In 2003, police in Harlem were called to an apartment that contained a 5-foot-long pet alligator. When they peered into the room with a periscope, they discovered that the gator had an interesting roommate. A 500-pound pet Bengal tiger. Not surprisingly, the neighbors were less than impressed. Eventually, the tiger was safely tranquilized and transferred to an animal shelter. There are some animals that can never become city slickers, which is why the New York City Department of Health produced a list of creatures that are prohibited to keep in New York City. While the crocodile's been banned in New York, it's not all that popular in Darwin either. Yet, in Australia, saltwater crocodiles are a protected species, and their population is steadily increasing. This means there's more competition for waterside real estate. That's why Darwin has a local croc patrol. They're not hired killers. Their job is to take the crocs out alive. The crocodile has had to change its behavior very little to adapt to life among humans. However, coming up in the countdown, we'll meet animals that have learned new tricks to survive in the city. But then, unlike the crocodile, they don't have brains the size of a walnut.
Number 9.
Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand, and every spring it hosts some very special visitors. These little blue penguins are the smallest penguins in the world. For thousands of years, they've been coming ashore to find suitable places to raise a family, even when we've gone and built a city on their beaches. Little blue penguins are number 9 in the countdown because they found a way to make use of our buildings. The only trouble is that getting there can be risky. Once, penguins nested in burrows or under vegetation, but now we provide them with waterproof garages, tool sheds, and houses. We'd never know they were there if it wasn't for the way a nesting couple reinforces their pair bond by saying, "Hi, honey, I'm home." Most people will put up with a little lost sleep because they love having a penguin under the house. However, life in the city isn't always easy for these little birds. They have few defenses against dogs, cats, and cars. Humans have tried to help the penguins by making them a protected species, but despite our efforts and our interest in these little birds, they are not well adapted for life in the big city, unlike the contenders we'll meet later in the countdown.
So far, we've seen 2 animals that only move to town in small numbers. But coming up next is a city slicker that arrives by the million and gets stuck in some very tight corners. And later, we'll discover that in New York City, there's one wild bird that really does get treated like royalty. That's next on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
You've never seen anything like it. Capri Sun is doing water the way kids want it, in 3 wild fruit flavors. New Capri Sun Roaring Waters.
If pain is keeping you from sleeping at night, but you're afraid to take prescription sleep aids, you should know Tylenol PM is different. And when used as directed, it has not been shown to cause dependency.
What's the craziest story I've ever heard when someone needed money?
It would have to be the time that
My son?
My cousin?
my sister said she needed money to get hair extensions for a poodle.
Can you believe that?
What if I told you that every time you send him money or use Quick Collect through Western Union, you're entered to win $1 million?
$1 million.
I could win $1 million?
The Western Union $1 million giveaway. Each time you send, you automatically get a chance to win.
You send money with Western Union, you can win $1 million!
For every story, Western Union and the $1 million giveaway.
Love them back with Caesar. Gourmet entrees in 15 delicious flavors like filet mignon. Caesar, it's canine cuisine.
Tonight, a camera-shy octopus takes matters into his own hands. Then, don't fall for cheap imitations. There's only one planet's funniest animals. And later, a persistent staff fights back after a year of hurricanes. All tonight, only on Animal Planet.
Time Warner presents excuses to watch more Major League Baseball. But they spent all that time carving those little bats out of trees. The gym is closed until October, remodeling or something. I could take up extreme taxidermy instead. You'll need all the excuses you can get with MLB Extra Innings on digital cable. Now you can enjoy up to 60 games a week and follow your favorite team no matter where you live. Call now to order for just $179. When it comes to sports, we're on your team. Call now.
Nobody beats the block. That's right, nobody beats the Cortez Auto Block when it comes to low payment. And right now, you can lease a new 06 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT for only $169 a month, or a new 1500 quad cab 4x4. Now up to $10,000 off. Plus, save on new Mitsubishis like a new 06 Eclipse GT for only $279 per month, or a new 06 Galant DE, now just $159 a month. Every one of our 2,000 vehicles is now available for 0 down, and finance rates as low as 0%. Come to Cortez Dodge and Mitsubishi at the Cortez Auto Block on West Henrietta Road. Because when it comes to the lowest payment, nobody beats the block. Number 8.
And live in close quarters. There are 14,000 people packed into every square mile of Tokyo, which is why, back in the 80s, innkeepers came up with a space-saving idea. Commuters can check into a capsule hotel. Instead of a room, you get a 6-foot-long, 3.5-foot-wide capsule. It's air-conditioned with an alarm clock and a television. It may not be the Ritz, but at the equivalent of only $11 a night, the idea has caught on with businessmen eager for low-cost accommodation. Back in America, people are also building capsule hotels for bats. Specifically designed bat boxes are being attached to buildings as a way of welcoming bats into the city. One city slicker you want to have around.
If you thought finding bats and penguins living in the big smoke was a little strange, you just won't believe your eyes when you see what our next contender has for brunch. And you'll be on the edge of your seat when we visit a cafe that's more restroom than restaurant. That's coming up on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
You're in control of you, but the road, full of surprises. That's why Allstate is introducing deductible rewards. Each accident-free year gives you $100 off your deductible. Another year, another $100 off, up to $500. So even if your car takes an unexpected hit, your budget doesn't have to. It's time to make your world a better place to drive. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
At Breyers, we're churning out an ice cream with double the delight, double the thrill, double the excitement, double the happiness. Double churned from Breyers, our richest, creamiest ice cream ever. We think you'll find it doubly amazing. Double churned, only from Breyers. The new taste of ice cream.
Can I help you, sir?
I found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator.
Got this amazing home phone service from Time Warner Cable, and it's so liberating. Suddenly, I've got this incredible feeling of freedom. Anytime I want, I can call my mom in Florida or my sister in California, and trust me, they are big talkers. But it doesn't cost me a penny extra. Plus, it comes with like a gazillion calling features. I mean, I'm thinking Time Warner Cable actually wants me to talk. I feel like this flower that's finally being allowed to blossom, you know? But anyway, with home phone service like this, I could afford to call all my high school friends and we can
Digital phone is for people who like to talk and save. Call now and switch your home phone service to Time Warner Cable.
The Cortez Auto Block. Lease a new 06 Ford Fusion SE for only $159 per month. Or a new 06 F-150 Super Cab 4-wheel drive XLT for just $189 per month. Save on Lincoln Mercuries like a new 06 Montego for only $299 per month. Or a new 06 Mountaineer now just $349 per month. 2,000 vehicles are available for zero down and finance rates as low as 0%. Cortez Ford and Lincoln Mercury at the Cortez Auto Block on West Henrietta Road. Remember, nobody beats the block.
The Gray Wolf, losing its struggle to survive all over the globe. But now, a dedicated few are fighting for its future. 4 continents, 4 scientists, one last chance. Don't miss the next Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Global Wolf, Sunday night at 7, only on Animal Planet.
Imagine a planet where you can raise a family with tender love and affection in the serene comfort of your idyllic country home. Maybe not. Follow the ongoing adventures of Flower and her 20-plus offspring on Meerkat Manor. Premieres Friday, June 9th at 8 on Animal Planet.
Number 7. Our next country bumpkin is usually found in wide open spaces, like the Waterberg Plateau Reserve in Namibia, where it eats at a most unusual restaurant. On the menu is 1 ton of offal. Dinner is served for vultures. This is a supplemental feeding station for the birds we think of as the sanitation workers of the wild, constantly on the lookout for the dead and diseased as they circle high above the wilderness. However, across the Atlantic, there's another kind of vulture that's become very much at home in the city of Miami. Most of the human population is disgusted by the ugly urbanite at number 7 in the countdown, the turkey vulture. To become a city slicker, it's had to make a few changes to its lifestyle. Instead of trees, it roosts on skyscrapers, and it can soar using the hot air thermals that rise up from the concrete canyons below. Living in the city, the vulture has lost its fear of humans. It also lost most of its competitors and predators, which is why it's become the top bird in Miami. In the wilderness, the vulture's amazing eyesight and sense of smell is used to find carrion. But in the city, they're on the lookout for garbage. Every year, the city collects over 100,000 tons of trash, and this becomes an enormous smorgasbord for the vultures. Vultures are number 7 in the countdown because it's only taken minor adjustments to their natural talents to let them thrive in the big city. Still to come are animals that have developed whole new behaviors to survive among humans.
Number 6.
Well, you may not have seen our next contender, you'll probably have heard it. Hollywood uses its raspy cry as the sound of the American Wild West. It belongs to the red-tailed hawk, a bird usually associated with vast expanses of wilderness. So what on earth is it doing in New York City? Well, in addition to 8 million people, the Big Apple also contains pigeons, rats, and mice. And that was the lure for the most famous bird in New York. His name is pale male. This extraordinary red-tailed hawk has forsaken the wilderness and taken up residence on the exclusive Fifth Avenue. He arrived as a young male in 1991 and became the first red-tailed hawk known to settle in modern Manhattan. Since then, he's had 4 wives, 24 chicks, and turned New York into his permanent home. He even has a fan club. But pale male came to the city to hunt, and the Big Apple was a feast spread before him, especially the rodents and pigeons found in the 840 acres of Central Park. Designed in 1857 by one of America's most influential landscape architects, it was hoped that the park would bring a bit of country into the city. However, not far away, there's another sanctuary that started out not as a park, but a garbage dump. In the 1800s, the worst place in New York City was a slum known as Hell's Kitchen. The neighborhood festered well into the 1970s until something wonderful happened in an abandoned lot. This is the Clinton Community Garden, a cool, calm oasis in the middle of a concrete jungle. And, as the name suggests, this really was the work of the community, as garden liaison Annie Chadwick explains.
There were abandoned cars, refrigerators, anything in this area. And there was a lot of drug dealing, violence, because this over a third of an acre was just open. The residents really wanted to build more of a sense of community and clean this area up. And as they were going by, they noticed that people had thrown garbage here, and tomatoes were growing out of the rubble from the garbage, the actual seeds. So it was about 1977 that the neighbors on the block said, you know, let's turn this into a garden. Let's really reclaim our neighborhood.
The garden is divided into 2 sections. One is given over to individual plots for vegetable and flower growing, and the other is a communal area with lawn and landscaped plantings. Humans are not the only ones to make use of the garden. Over 50 species of birds have been sighted, and more are added to the list each year as migrating birds flock to the oasis as a temporary place for rest and food. In the garden, they're also safe from another recent arrival in the city. Nobody helped Pale Male gain a foothold in New York, although his legions of followers are keen that he stays. It's a sentiment unlikely to be shared by the 8 million pigeons in the naked city.
Our last two contenders have shown that high-rise living really is for the birds. But still to come, we visit a restaurant where the food has literally gone to pot. And later, why is this moose visiting the Anchorage Hospital emergency room? Find out soon on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
Feared, threatened, and on the brink. On the next Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, the gray wolf, losing its struggle to survive all over the globe. But now, a dedicated few are fighting for its future. 4 continents, 4 scientists, 1 last chance. Don't miss the next Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, Global Wolf, Sunday night at 7, only on Animal Planet.
Do the Cool Whip. Summer has begun, family parties, lots of fun. Do the Cool Whip. Cool Whip. America's berry trees. Cool Whip.
Try delicious new sugar-free Cool Whip.
New sugar-free Cool Whip.
In the 21st century, the future is in your rearview mirror. Welcome to 21st Century Auto Insurance, where life's most important passengers count on you, which is why we reward safe drivers with lower rates. It's how we honor the values you cherish most: family, security, savings. This is our commitment to you. Call 1-888-389-2121 and you could save 21% on your auto insurance. Welcome to the 21st century.
Introducing Vital Radiance, a revolution in makeup.
My makeup just wasn't working as well. I just didn't look like myself. She looked like herself, just not as good as herself.
New Vital Radiance, the makeup system for changing skin. The smoothing primer preps skin for your foundation. The line softening makeup really perks up your color. And the Vital Radiance blush, natural, never streaky.
Now she looks like herself, only better.
I knew there was a reason I liked you. New Vital Radiance in your cosmetics aisle. Call for free samples at 1-800-RADIANT.
People everywhere are discovering the stain-fighting power of OxyClean.
For me, it was how my son and his friend ran through the house, jumped on the bed with their muddy shoes on. The carpet looked ruined. The bedding was a disaster. But I called my mom and she said, try OxyClean. I added some to my wash and mixed some with water for the carpet. The footprints just disappeared and the bedding came out as good as new. So OxyClean saved the day.
Isn't it time you discovered the power of OxyClean? Try it today.
All right, well, let the vacation begin.
That's right.
Awesome. Don't get stuck with the wrong hotel. Send in the experts at Hotels.com and get the inside scoop on over 25,000 properties with virtual tours, side-by-side comparisons, and even customer reviews. So log on or call now. Get down from there! Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
In a new series from Animal Planet, when you're a mom with 22 children, you learn to tune a few things out. Psst, meerkats have the ability to close their ears. You may find this family drama sounds awfully familiar on Meerkat Manor. Premieres Friday, June 9th at 8, only on Animal Planet.
Number 5.
The next contender in our countdown of extreme city slickers is the most widespread wild carnivore on the planet. There are about 40 different subspecies of fox, and they all share a reputation for cunning and intelligence. We think they're sneaky because without night vision cameras, we can't keep track of their nocturnal activities. Yet the fox has no problem moving in the dark, thanks to its wonderful senses of sight, smell, and hearing. Foxes once had good reason to fear humans, but recently, things have changed. In places like London during the 1930s, the secretive fox became a city slicker. It started living in town because the new construction of low-density housing with big gardens made an ideal habitat. Now, the highest density of foxes in Britain is found in cities. As many as 5 fox families can exist in a single square mile. That's more than twice as many as the best rural areas, and 200 times more than on some bleak moors. All around the world, foxes are learning that cities are the place to be, and yet they remain secretive. Most people who live in an urban area have never seen a fox in their neighborhood. Just like other city slickers in the countdown, the foxes come to town for food. Our waste contains far more food than a country fox could dream of, and it also attracts a living lunch. Of course, foxes are not the only members of the canine family living it up in the big city. Some pet dogs get to have a great time at Planet Pooch in Redwood City, California.
Come on, kid.
Hey, hey, how are you?
Hey, little boy. There you go.
Hey, Cody, come on. Let's go. Come on, Cody. Come on, let's go.
All right, Cody, have a good day. See you tonight.
There are 60 million pet dogs in America, and some of them have owners that work long hours. So instead of leaving them cooped up in the house, Planet Pooch offers these city slickers a home away from home.
Basically everything you can do for your dog except for the vet is here at Planet Pooch. We do daycare mainly, but we also do boarding. We have a groom shop. We have a store. We have the best trainer around.
Okay, so every time the dog looks at the other dog, they get it clicked. Good boy.
We have 3 different groups. One for puppy types. One for adult confident dogs, and one for usually over-the-top crazy dogs. Cody's a cattle dog mix, and Cody's just a great dog. He comes every day of the week. His dad's very busy. You good boy, Cody? He's been coming for about 5 years, and he has a great time.
Let's go.
Urban foxes can survive in the city without all this lavish care and attention. But there's a big difference between being a wild fox and a domestic dog. While urban foxes are solitary creatures, dogs are social animals and don't like to be left alone. After staying in daycare, a clean, happy Pooch also won't need so much exercise and attention when its busy owner gets home.
You ready? Let's go.
Stay. 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 Stay.
And for those humans suffering separation anxiety, they can sit at the office and watch their pet play on a webcam.
Cody. Every day it's the same thing. Come here, Pop. Where are you? Okay, good. Okay. All right, easy. Sit. I know. Want to go home. I know. Okay. There you go. Good boy, huh? Did you have a good day? Huh? All right.
For dogs like Cody, every day's a good day. If only life were as easy for his canine cousin, the fox. A busy port would be the last place you'd expect to find a wild carnivore, and yet it can be home for this sly city slicker. In the country, foxes are often persecuted as pests. In the city, people have a different view and have started welcoming foxes into their gardens. While people are encouraged not to feed foxes, these crafty city slickers will always accept handouts wherever they can find them. A small snack may be enough to lure a fox out of the darkness, but there's no hiding our next contender. It's the largest deer in the world.
Number 4.
So far in the countdown, we've been looking at animals that are relatively small or secretive. But there's no mistaking our next contender. It stands more than 6 feet tall and has the world's biggest antlers. The moose is the biggest of all deer and was once only found in the wildest lands of North America. However, the wilderness also contains predators like bears and wolves, which is why in Anchorage, Alaska, moose are moving into the city. It's safe, there's lots of food, and there are plenty of places to swim. In winter, there can be well over 1,000 moose living in Anchorage. They've acquired a taste for city scraps and can be seen dumpster diving at Anchorage's best restaurants. The moose is number 4 in the countdown because in the city, it's changed its behavior. It's lost its fear of humans, which is why 1/3 of Anchorage's population has been threatened or attacked by these massive creatures. Some smart moose are actually looking both ways before they cross the street. A good habit, considering that over 200 moose are killed in car accidents every year in the city. Perhaps that's why one moose decided to go visiting in the Anchorage Hospital emergency room. Security cameras captured the moose having a look around the ER, much to the staff's amazement. Just as urban moose are learning to live in the big city, so the people of Anchorage are learning a little basic moose etiquette to minimize the risk of dangerous encounters. If only it was as easy to deal with our next contender.
You don't have to be as big as a moose or as sly as a fox to survive in the big city. Although, as our next contender discovers, it's a good idea not to get stuck in the chimney. And later, we'll discover how one wild animal is trying to take over the city of Tokyo. That's coming up on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
Caesar. Gourmet entrees in 15 delicious flavors like filet mignon. Caesar, it's canine cuisine.
No rolling mortgage. That's why Geico.com is so simple. Or is it because you can chat with an associate if you need help and get a free rate quote in minutes? 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Simple as that.
Tired of going in circles? Then you need one of the amazing new Wave Action blenders from Hamilton Beach. Other blenders just spin the ingredients around in circles, leaving chunky bits floating on top. So you're left with an uneven mixture. But that's never a problem with the innovative new line of Wave Action blenders. Using the same ingredients as the other blender, watch as Hamilton Beach's powerful wave-like motion continually forces the ingredients down into the specially designed blades. No spoons, no mess. For a thoroughly blended mixture, each and every time you use it. With the remarkable new Wave Action system, Hamilton Beach has truly reinvented the blender. Call now to order the Wave Power Plus for just 2 easy payments of $19.99. Or go online and check out the entire line of Hamilton Beach Wave Action blenders for yourself. Just look for the Wave Action symbol on the jar. Blending with anything else is kind of like, yeah, that.
Now it's your family's chance to get out there. Animal Planet and the Smart Spot program from PepsiCo are sending one lucky family on a 5-day, 4-night vacation to Northern California and the Point Reyes National Seashore. Enter to win at animalplanet.com. And don't miss Get Out There, Thursdays at 8, only on Animal Planet.
Sundance Spa's exclusive iTouch system gives me 5 types of massages to choose from. I can experience a hydrotherapy massage that relieves my stress. The iTouch personalizes the jet streams to the exact spots where I need them. Or after a workout, the therapeutic massage rejuvenates my sore muscles. And if I've had a really tough day, one touch and I get a combination that's sheer magic.
Check out Rochester's largest spa selection at Northeastern Pool and Spa, Route 31F.
Nobody beats the block. That's right, nobody beats the Cortez Auto Block when it comes to low payment. And right now, you can lease a new 06 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT for only $169 a month, or a new 1500 quad cab 4x4. Now up to $10,000 off. Plus, save on new Mitsubishis like a new 06 Eclipse GT for only $279 per month, or a new 06 Galant DE, now just $159 a month. Every one of our 2,000 vehicles is now available for $0 down and finance rates as low as 0%. Come to Cortez Dodge and Mitsubishi at the Cortez Auto Block on West Henrietta Road. Because when it comes to the lowest payment, nobody beats the block.
Call now.
Tonight, when a miniature sub goes snooping below the surface, a camera-shy octopus takes matters into his own hands. Legs. An all-new Animal Planet report. Tonight at 8, only on Animal Planet. Tonight, no, you're not seeing things. It seems everyone's jumping on the laugh bandwagon. So don't fall for cheap imitations. When it comes to animal silliness, there's only one planet's funniest animals. Tonight at 8:30 on Animal Planet.
Number 3.
Hey, Julian, got a call for you when you can write.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 6th Street, Southeast, 2 adult raccoons in a fireplace. Copy?
Yeah, I copy that.
For Julian Carter of the Washington, D.C. Humane Society, getting a call out to rescue our next contender is all too common. That's because there can be 100 raccoons per square mile of city.
Come on in, I'm glad to see you. All the commotion and racket's coming from right over here, right in the chimney.
Well, how long have you been here?
Been since last night.
Raccoons have adapted well to life in the big city. With all those chimneys and houses, who needs to nest in a hollow tree?
Well, okay, I see 2 now. Okay, give me a second.
And since they're omnivores just like humans, they love our food.
Let me take a look up here.
Using their nimble little paws, some raccoons have learned how to open refrigerator doors, unscrew jars, and even uncork wine bottles.
Looks like a tough customer. Let me get your cage away. That is a big raccoon. I think I'm more scared than he is. What do you got up there now, Julian?
I think it's one of their babies. Not too sure.
Wow. It's a big one or a little one?
It's a little baby.
Got the whole family here.
Raccoons are so at home in our houses that in spring, the Humane Society responds to about 4 calls a week to remove a furry squatter.
Okay, come out on this way. We'll take them out.
Usually the adults are relocated to a wooded area of D.C. But if they're injured or very young, they're taken to raccoon rehabilitator Tina Svensson.
Gums are whitish, so it's definitely dehydrated. I can feel by the scruff of its neck.
Tina volunteers her time to nurse the animals back to health, even if it means getting up 3 times a night to feed her baby city slickers.
All cleaned up. Yes, it's all cleaned up. If this one had not been found, it would have perished. And I'm very confident that I can help this animal, but there is that 50-50 chance that this little girl won't make it. My role is to be a surrogate mother to the little animals. We'll raise her. She would have normally stayed with her mother till she was about 8 months old. And even if they came from the city, I would try and teach them how to be an urban raccoon and eat berries and nuts and birdseed and, you know, an occasional cat food or dog food. This looks better already. Yep. They all have a reason to be here, and I think it's important. And
while most people think that raccoons are lovable rogues, our next contender is hated by almost everyone in the biggest city in the world.
Number 2.
There are 12 million people in Tokyo City, but they're under attack by our next contender, the crow. In the last 15 years, the Tokyo population of these aggressive birds has increased by 500%. More than 1/3 of Japan's crows are now found in the nation's capital, largely thanks to a combination of the enormous amounts of trash generated in the city and the crows' extraordinary intelligence. The birds have memorized the garbage schedules for different parts of the city, and they move in front of the collectors, removing food scraps from the plastic bags. Unfortunately, some birds don't limit themselves to trash. They'll terrorize people to get at their food, and if they get a chance, they'll purposefully take aim and poop on you. That's enough to put most people off their lunch. But not if you visit this restaurant in southern Taiwan. Here, diners are seated not on chairs, but toilets. Inspired by a toilet-shaped spaceship in a Japanese cartoon, the restaurant is called Martin, which means toilet in Chinese. Meals are presented in toilet bowls of both Western and Asian styles. The clientele of novelty-seeking young people come to play with their food and gross out their friends. Although some people still find the combination a little hard to swallow. Crows have no problems dining in the toilet, but other foods can be more difficult. This crow likes eating walnuts, although breaking open the tough shell is almost impossible, unless you learn how to make the city do all the hard work. Using a 4-wheeled nutcracker is pretty clever, but you still run the risk of being flattened, unless you're smart enough to drop your dinner on a crosswalk. when the traffic stopped will the crow secure its snack. But not even this extraordinary bird brain can compete with the animal that's #1 in the countdown.
We've seen the 9 contenders. They found ways to survive in the big smoke. Only one animal is a more extreme city slicker. It's #1, and it's coming up next on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
Next, being a rodent is risky business. Just fending off predators is a full-time job. Evasive maneuvers, elaborate armor. When it comes to self-defense, these toothy critters are determined to stay out of harm's way. Rodents, next on Animal Planet.
Hi, this is James Garner for Financial Freedom. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, I'd like to talk to you about something you should know. It's called a reverse mortgage, and it's a safe, easy way to quickly turn your home equity into tax-free money. Now, I got to tell you, I was reluctant to talk about reverse mortgages because, like a lot of folks, I didn't understand the facts. But as I learned more, I realized that this is something that many senior homeowners can benefit from. I sure think you should at least look into it. You can get the facts you need to make a smart decision by calling for an educational video from Financial Freedom, the nation's leader in reverse mortgages. It's absolutely free and there's no obligation. The video explains that you keep your home and that you can use the money you get for almost anything, from paying bills and medical costs to doing something you've always dreamed of. But as these real Financial Freedom customers will tell you, the most important thing you get is something you really can't put a price on.
There's a lot to be said for peace of mind. A lot to be said for not having to think twice about purchasing something.
I think the quality of life is much improved now. I think this is one of the best things I've ever done.
So I'm very happy about the reverse mortgage. I'm so pleased, and I wish everybody could know about it.
I've heard lots of stories about seniors like these, people whose lives have truly been changed by reverse mortgages. And how many things can you really say that about? If you're a homeowner 62 or older, why not give Financial Freedom a call? Who knows? It might just change your life, too.
To get your free informative video or DVD on reverse mortgages, call Financial Freedom toll-free at 800-206-4926. There's no obligation, so call today. That's 800-206-4926.
Meerkat Manor premieres Friday, June 9th at 8, only on Animal Planet.
Hey, Mom and Dad, Bill Gray's now has more choices at a greater value. Make any sandwich at dinner by adding 2 sides. How about our fish fry dinner, fresh every day? At Bill Gray's, we're all about great food and fun at a great value.
I'm Montel Williams. Every day on my show, I talk to people about their problems. I'm all about finding solutions. For the people that need a helping hand paying for medicine, I found one. The Partnership for Prescription Assistance.
It's a free phone call, and it took 5 minutes.
Well, to see if you may qualify, call 1-888-4PPA now.
I get 10 medications, and I get them free. It took a great burden off of me.
I hope one day, paying for medicine won't be a problem I have to talk about anymore. Your medicine, your life, your time to call.
Acres of wetlands every year, land that stores and cleans our water and protects us from floods. When we destroy wetlands, our birds and wildlife vanish.
Nobody's vanishing just yet, Buster. Save America's wetlands.
Celebrate the Clean Water Act. Call Audubon 1-800-659-2622.
The gray wolf, losing its struggle to survive all over the globe. But now, a dedicated few are fighting for its future. 4 continents, 4 scientists, 1 last chance. Don't miss the next Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Global Wolf, Sunday night at 7, only on Animal Planet.
#1.
King Kong is the perfect example of what usually happens when you let a wild animal loose in the big smoke. The animal at #1 in our countdown of the most extreme city slickers proves that primates don't have to be more than 20 feet tall to cause chaos. From out of the jungles of Asia comes a monkey that's only 2 feet tall. Yet it creates more mayhem than any Hollywood monster. It's the macaque. It's estimated that 48% of macaques in northern India live in close and frequent contact with people at all times. For generations, macaques have lived in cities because they know that people mean food. Up to 93% of their diet can be from human sources. Macaques are the only primate other than humans that readily adapt to life in the city. That's because their motto is, learn and eat. You can see this in action when you watch them trying to find ways to open a coconut. Often it's the young monkeys who solve the problem. They discover the solutions through play, and this may lead the rest of the troop out of difficulties. On hot days, there's a serious risk of dehydration, so some cheeky monkeys steal water bottles from tourists or each other, while other troop members have learnt to turn on water taps. These monkeys may be the biggest troublemakers in the countdown, but just like all our other contenders, they're only doing what comes naturally. Without their city skills, they'd be in real trouble, because their natural habitat is being destroyed as the need for more agricultural land in India increases. This is one rare case where the spread of urban sprawl has actually led to an increase in the number of these primates. And that's why, when it comes to wild animals making it in the big city, the macaque really is the most extreme.